y'all. Pardon some of the junk in the background, like that over there. There's some old tarps that was on our hay pile down at the end of the field that I cleaned up the other day. Throwed them in the back of the side-by-side. And then Thursday, I'll just go ahead and give y'all a recap. Thursday, we had to take my daughter to let's see, I guess it's far enough away. We had to take her to UVA. For y'all that don't know, UVA is a very big, like, children's hospital. They have a lot of children's stuff in there. I mean, they do, cancer treatments and stuff like that. And thank God it's nothing that serious, but she's had problems with her feet ever since she was born. Her ankles and stuff won't stay in place. The tendons are loose, so they'll roll in. So she had to wear braces in her shoes for a long time. She's out of them now, trying to build natural strength. Also, they discovered, I think about a year ago, that her spine has a curve in it. It's not a terrible curve, but it is being monitored, and that's what we went down there this time for. And it was pretty much no change, so everything is, pretty good. Kind of one of those no news is good news things. So anyway, Thursday when we had to leave, we always try to leave and have enough time to, in case something happens. So we came home. Well, actually, I know it might be hard to follow, but anyway, my oldest girl, I had her with me Thursday because she was out of school because she had strep throat, and wasn't really bothering her, she just had it, So anyway, we went to John Deere, took the new tractor up there to get them, put the rear remotes on the back, and it's up there now, so I've been using the Mass Ferguson a bit. So we come home, everything was cool. Right there in Bell's lot, the Holstein baby calf we got, that's where we put the Dexter at. We put her there Thursday morning. So everything was cool, She was standing out there just minding her own business. And, we went in and played, tractors and stuff with her for about an hour. And then my wife comes home, pulls in the yard, and is like, where's the Dexter? Which her name is Buttercream. And I'm like, I thought she was messing with her. I'm like, what do you mean? She's right there with Belle. She's like, no, she's not. So I jump up and run and look, and sure enough, she's gone. And right there in the corner of Belle's lot, where she jumped through at, it looked like she jumped out into the yard versus out into the goat pen. So, we started losing our mind naturally, running around. Jumped in the side-by-side and, just threw that crap out there out of the way. Rode around trying to find her and never could find her. We spent probably 30 minutes of fooling with all that. And then I just decided to stop and regroup and just walk around there. And then, I walked down by the main fence, the cow fence, and it looked like down there at the water trough, the fence had been pushed out from the goat pen. All the goats were still in and all and everything. So I said, well, there's a chance that she's in the main field. So my wife rode down the highway to the end of the field, and I started walking through the woods part there. And she ended up spotting her. She was in the cow fence just walking around. So everything was good on that. So, just like how everybody tells you, goats are no problem. You can just stick them out there anywhere and they'll eat whatever and everything's good. They say Dexters are easy on your fence, and I have not found that to be the case. But overall, we like her really well. like I said, the people that we got her from gave us some of that Dexter meat, and it is really amazing. And we are highly contemplating getting rid of all the Angus we got and going full Dexter, for the fact that, you know, I think it tastes better. And number two, you can have basically two Dexters where you have one Angus. They just, you know, eat that much less, which I don't know if I would take that as 100% gospel, but research I've done, that's more or less the case. So yeah, as far as, you know, we don't really make any money farming. As a matter of fact, we hadn't really made any money. I mean, we've sold a chicken here or there. We've sold a little, you know, hog meat here and there, stuff like that. But overall, it's basically a hobby and a prep. So, from a prep standpoint, if we're having to butcher these things, you know, in SHTF, grid down, anything like that, especially not being able to use the electric grinders, the, you know, tractor to hoist it up, and the whole 9 yards, like, yeah, if you're doing it the hard way, I'd rather have two cows out there that doesn't have quite as much meat on them than one giant cow. It would be easier to preserve the meat for, you know, however long, and it would be also easier to deal with. And if they eat less, it would be easier to, uh, you know, maintain them and feed them, take care of them, all that stuff. So that's some of my thoughts on that. And if you haven't figured it out already, this is going to be kind of a random video. I did a video like this last year when I was peeling potatoes, and I'm doing one this year because it's kind of a slow process and you got a few minutes to sit down and talk. You know, a lot of things around here in the farm you just do in a hurry to get done to move on to the next thing, and it's really hard to make a video on. It takes so long to make a video and everything else. As a matter of fact, we just got done smoking the hog meat over the end of last week and over the weekend, and I haven't had time to put all the clips together and edit it together yet, so that will be coming. Editing takes entirely too long, and I do it on a very, very basic level, so I can only imagine these people that, you know, really make high production type videos. I can really only imagine how difficult it is to do all of their editing and things. But anyway, I'm cutting up some potatoes. Got the Benchmade 940 here. I really like this knife. I think it's a really good do-all knife. It's expensive, yes, but I haven't had any complaints out of it. Holds the edge good. I haven't had any any real damage to it. Maybe a bumper scrape here and there, which I really do not care about in the least. I mean, it's made to be a workhorse, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the fanciest, shiniest, prettiest knife. I'm looking for something that'll hold up for doing knife things. So again, we are peeling potatoes. I just made me a couple of rows out there. We're bedding them up this year. We have the different cultivator this year, and I put some points on it to make it bed up, you know. I want a garden bedder with the actual rollers on it like them old farm tractors used to have, but right now I just can't afford it, and I'm sure many of y'all are in the same boat as me. We are really blessed, really fortunate. I mean, we're not really wanting for anything. The bills get paid, the kids get fed, you know, the whole 9 yards like that, but cost is a very, very real thing right now. there's so many more things I want to do here on the homestead and the farm, the infrastructure. Things need to be built. I want to build a stable. I want to build a tractor shed. I need to beef my pen up where the bull went through it. Things like that, but it's just so darn expensive. It's hard to have anything left to put towards projects like that. I mean, the prices that food's got in the grocery store, which we still go to the grocery store, not nearly as much as we used to, but we do. And gas, diesel fuel, things like that. It's just really unreal. And then being on the brink of possible World War III, nobody really knows what to do at this moment in time. But we'll just have to see. It's in God's hands. Whatever His will is will be done. We just do our best to prep and be ready for whatever's coming to survive through it. I made a video the other day. I don't know how many of y'all watched it or how many stayed through the whole thing, talking about that prepper class, because it may not have been the best audio, me bouncing around in that cutter. But I really enjoyed that. I got a lot out of it. I've been talking to the ones that organized it about doing another class on building a group, because I know that's something so many people, especially preppers and stuff, really struggle with, is building a group, finding who you can trust, who you can't trust, and the fact of having to let somebody know that you are a prepper. I mean, there's no way to build a group or join a group without, you may not give away every detail or how far into it you are, but the fact is that you are a prepper, or you wouldn't be there thinking about, talking about, and doing that stuff. So it is what it is. But anyway, I told them that would be a good class, and I think a lot of people would get something out of it. I told them, that I would either teach or, could speak on it or whatever, but, I really doesn't care. If somebody else more knowledgeable than me wants to, run with that, that's fine with me. I just want to put the idea out there. So, coming around with us, I haven't got the biggest group in Virginia, or even what I would consider a big group, but we have a tight group. We have a group that we can trust each other. If we're pretty much family, it's pretty much more than a friend or a group. We're definitely not a get together once a month, do a little target practice type of group. We're beyond that. So, like I said, just the fact of putting yourself out there scares a lot of people to death. And I get that. Like I said, I'm not saying, go put it in the newspaper and let everybody around know, and, yada, yada, yada. You just have to use a little common sense, a little judgment, Start talking with people, see how they talk, see where their heart's at, and you can go from there. Whether that be, hey, you want to get together and do this thing, or you want to come over for a cookout. We'll get the kids together, let the kids play, whatever. Like I said, my right-hand man is O1 Livestock. He's here on YouTube too. And we got together pretty much through church. We've seen each other around and, kind of knew each other for years. Never really got close. But, we had a cowboy Sunday at church where we, dressed up cowboy hats and clothes and stuff like that. And he's into that. So we, announced it on Facebook and stuff. So they're like, that's cool. I think we're coming. Then they, came and kept coming to church there, and sooner or later we started hanging out, and through that, I mean, that's the problem with group and community that a lot of people don't want to do, is it takes time. I mean, you're not going to build a group overnight. So if you don't have anybody and you're trying to build a group right now, it's going to take some time. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I don't think there's anybody, I mean, unless it's people that you've actually known your whole life and then just decide to get on the same page, you know what I mean? But small things. The other ones in our group, we've known them for a little bit, followed them on Facebook and stuff and seen them around, and they had, goats and some hogs and stuff like that. So, it gives you an idea of what they're about, what they're getting into. And they had that one hog drop dead of a heart attack, and they didn't know exactly how to process one. I mean, they've done deer and things like that and have a general idea, but every animal's a little bit different. So I messaged them, be like, hey, if y'all want, we'll come over and help you do that thing. So they said, yeah, they'd appreciate that. So we went and did that. Then they come helped us do our hogs. Then we helped them do their hogs again. And different things like that along the way. They had a couple of, they had a goat, be down and stuff, trying to have a kid and stuff. And, my wife and 01's wife knows more about, doing animal vet stuff like that than I do. And, they jumped in to help with that as much as possible and all. So that's kind of how I got started with those, the next branch of our group. Small things first, then build on the big things. Like I said, my group is small and mainly farming related. And yeah, nowadays with what's going on, we're definitely needing to get more on the tactical side of things. That's something I would like to do in the future. I mean, I can't really imagine. I mean, we thought that way at the start out till we got people of the lone wolf prepper stuff. But now, diving into it, I just don't see how you could survive very long at all alone. There's just too much to preparedness, too much to survival. It's a reason people have always been tribal in nature. That's because it takes so much to survive. To survive, you need food. Obviously, somebody has to plant and harvest and tend to food. Also with animals, somebody has to, shepherd, take care of. Well, also, there's other people around that need to eat and provide for their family. So they will come with the sticks and the stones and the bow and arrows and take your food. So now you need to grow food, take care of animals, you know, the whole food thing there. Also, you need to secure the food and the animals. Also, part of the food security is keeping animals out of the garden, keeping livestock in the fence, or in those days when they didn't have fences really, keeping them in your area. It's a very multi-layered type of deal. You need someone to do the research, figure out what's good for medicine, what heals this, what heals that, you know, what prevents this, what prevents that, the whole 9 yards in that as well. So you take all those things into consideration. You need people, because even if you know how to do all of those things, there's only so many hours in a day. You got to make hay when the sun shines. Also, you got to sleep sometime. No matter what you do, you're eventually going to be sick and be down for a while. Things still have to get done. Alright, so that's just a little chat, little update, all that fun stuff. I'm going to finish planting these taters here. Hopefully we'll have a good harvest. Hopefully everybody out there is doing good, doing the things. Now is not a time to sit back and watch. Now's the time to get after it. Anyway, hopefully you can stay not stress-free. It's just not possible anymore right now. And hopefully you can find ways to deal with it and it not be overbearing. Anyway, everybody stay prayed up, prepped up, and strapped up. See you.